You're going to take these lug nuts off, use a 21mm socket. And remove the wheel. Take these two bolts out. I'm going to use a 14mm wrench. Oh, it's stuck. I'm going to take this lower caliper bolt off. I'm going to use a 14mm socket. I'm not going to take the top one off because the brake hose is in the way. So I'm just going to have to tip this caliper up. And slide that out. I'm just going to use a straight blade screwdriver, just compress the caliper a little bit, and then just slide it up. Up like that. And you can work it back and forth. This one's a little bit seized in here, so I'm going to have to clean that up. But normally it should just slide right off. And slide it right off like that. Take a brake caliper hanger and just hang it. Make sure there's no tension on the brake hose. Take the brake pads off. You use a screwdriver, pry them out. You're going to take this caliper bracket off, take these two bolts off. I'm going to use a 17mm socket. Take those bolts out and just slide the caliper bracket right off. Now we're going to take the brake rotor off. Just take a hammer. I'm going to hit it right here, here, in those areas. Just be careful not to hit the studs. Give it a tap, slide it off. And just take a wire brush, clean up some of this rust. If anything's built up, make sure you get that off. That's all cleaned up. Just use a little bit of copper anti-seize. Just a nice thin coat, just so the rotor doesn't get stuck on. All right, take the rotor. I'm just gonna install it backwards. Take some brake parts cleaner, clean this off, use a rag. There is a coating on the brakes themselves, on the rotor. Flip it around. Do the same on this side. And wipe it down. On the old rotor, there's a little plug right here. Just take a pocket screwdriver, pull that out. Install that in the new one. Just line it up. And you're good to go. Just take this anti-rattle clip off or pad slide clip and just use a pocket screwdriver. Slide this off. Take a wire brush. Just clean up this area. Take a little brake caliper grease. Right there and right there. Take the new anti-rattle clip, slide it in place. Do the same on the other side. And just take a little brake parts cleaner. Just clean out where the brake caliper pins go. And use a rag, clean that out. And also the pins themselves. Brake parts cleaner, clean it up. And you can use a little bit of brake caliper grease on these. And we'll reinstall these when we put the caliper back on. Just take a little more brake caliper grease, put it on the slides, right there and right there. Slide the bracket over the rotor, take the two bolts, get those started. And torque those bolts to 62 foot-pounds. Take the brake pads. The inside brake pad is going to have the one with the wear indicator at the base of the pad, just like this. And the outside one with no indicator, slide that in position. Just take the brake caliper off the hanger. And you want to use a brake caliper compressing tool. I'm just going to take a old brake pad, slide it in here, and compress the brake pad. It's going to push the piston back, push the fluid through the hoses and lines back up into the master cylinder. Just do it nice and slow. And just some brake caliper grease on this slide pin. And that's good. Slide that back in. Make sure that seals up there. And take the other slide pin and bolt. And slide that back in. And torque that bolt to 32 foot-pounds. If you took that top bolt out, torque that one as well. We didn't take it out, so we're good. Reinstall the wheel. Put the lug nuts on. Now I'm going to torque the lug nuts to 83 foot-pounds in a star pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. And I'll just go around again, double check. And pump the brake pedal, nice and slow. There's going to be an air gap between the brake caliper piston and the brake pads. And then check the brake fluid level and adjust accordingly.